Tarot.
The one tarot.
Yeah, I think you can also do a version where it's just like numbered cards, but I prefer the tarot just because it seems more magical. Essentially, they randomly have a bunch of different effects with them, and one I think is like literally every magic item on you immediately just like vaporizes, just gone instantly. It's like all your potions, all your scrolls, any cool
The
weapons
rest
you
of the
have.
cards.
That's what, yeah, I was gonna say, honestly, that's probably one of the nicest bad cards. A lot of them are really atrocious. All right. Is everybody here, or is anybody away from keyboard?
Here.
Yeah.
It's everybody then. Alrighty then. I know it's been a while since we met just due to scheduling conflicts and calendars and stuff. Does anybody recall what happened last time?
I know we're... shit. What's the name of that place we're going to? I can't remember because it's been so long. Dragonspear?
On your way to Waterdeep is the final location.
I remember during our last session, we were traveling, we were going smooth, we had a couple setbacks and whatnot. We picked up a pair of sisters where me and my beard card dude thought they were safe, and then they turned out shit. I can't remember the names of them either. But
Doppelgangers.
Yeah, doppelgangers, thank you. And they kept eating the guards one by one, and then they tried to imitate the beloved yours truly here, and they failed.
True.
And we obliterated them, and then I think we're like a few stops away from Dragonspear. I think.
Yeah. So in summer, y'all would probably be close to Dragonspear tonight. Y'all don't happen to remember what day y'all ended on, do you? Because it was going to be like a 40-day trip, roughly.
Yeah, nope.
Good.
I don't remember which day.
I was going to say we're in the
I want to say it was around... I was going to say, I wanted to say it was around 20, because the last thing I have marked off on mine was something that was supposed to happen day 19. But I think I may have also pushed that up because of the way it was working out with like the doppelgangers.
Yeah, the only thing I remember is the thing that big happened was the doppelgangers, and that was about it.
Yeah, we ended the night with killing the doppelgangers.
Yeah, so maybe we'll say we're about halfway. Maybe we'll say we're under halfway, just at like 18, because I would say to Dragonspear is probably about 20 days, and then from Dragonspear to Waterdeep, about 20 days as well. That fair?
Yeah.
Even though I'm sure it's not super relevant now, is my health back to normal? I think I have more hit points.
Yeah, for sure. Like every night y'all rest, it would be a long rest, so your health would be back to full.
I have my max health and the temporary hit points, so that way I don't forget if we ever like have this situation again where we're gone forever and we can't remember what.
What do you have temporary hit points from?
No, I don't have temporary hit points. Like I have my max HP, what I got now, where it'd be at full. I put it at temporary, so then that way, if like we ever have like a long break like we did, I have it there so I don't forget what my HP is.
Gotcha. Smart. Cool.
Now where's my inspiration?
Great. Trying to think if there was anything else. There was one other, at least one or two other major events that happened. I'll go ahead and give you the inspiration. The one I remember for sure was there was one of the other caravan leaders. It was the cart that y'all weren't on, so I'm trying to remember.
Released some horses.
Yeah, I think it was like I think he was selling like meats and stuff. Maybe no, because I think that's like the meat and beer cart is the one you're on, Muffin.
I'm on the
I think
beer
this guy was
cart. I
doing.
don't think we got meat.
He was doing like fine silks and other like trade.
We wanted
goods,
one
I
of
think.
one of our horses, I had to persuasion keep them distracted while Sam's over there with her dagger trying to cut the horse free.
Yeah.
Remember, I had to do like 3 rolls of persuasion.
And I think eventually y'all cut it free, right? But it didn't have the energy to like
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
so it was left behind.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other main one I remember. I think the doppelgangers was like a series of events over a couple days. Like you said, they were able to kill some of the guards stealthily, but I think y'all only lost 2 people. So overall, not a huge hit to the caravan. But morale's probably not great right now.
Some guards dead. Some horses are dead.
Yeah, things could have gone better, but as you'll recall, the Fields of the Dead was one of the most dangerous areas y'all were going to go through, and I think last time we ended, like, y'all had just crossed this river, if I recall. So with that, why don't we say it's day 18. Y'all have just woken up from slaying the doppelgangers. You've crossed over the river now. As you'll recall, we kind of go through daily checks. I have certain days where things are going to happen, like some major events that I've written out, or rather that the campaign has written out that I'm sort of altering. During each day, though, y'all are free to spend your time how you want, describe how y'all are traveling, any sort of information like that, and I can either give y'all roles, awards, debuffs, buffs, things like that based off sort of what y'all describe and how you perform. Sound good?
Sure.
All right, then we will say it is day 18. Everybody is well rested. What is y'all's plan for the day?
Can we get our map?
Are y'all on the map?
We see a library.
Oh, shoot.
As the last.
Oh, I
last
dragged it to the
sessions.
wrong screen. Sorry.
Damn it, balls.
Oh.
Yeah, what I was saying, I thought I did this before we started. My bad. Y'all passed the Fields of the Dead now, which was the area north of Baldur's Gate, which is notoriously dangerous. Y'all have just crossed the winding waters up here.
Okay,
So
so we're
you're
just
getting
past
pretty
the.
close to Dragonspear.
Yeah, like right there.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'd like to take some time to change my familiar's appearance.
Oh,
Yeah. I feel like a cat isn't really something you'd find in the wild. In the
fair.
city, yes. In the wild, not really.
Okay.
I want to change it. Give me a moment. I'm gonna go look at it.
Sure.
An owl.
Ooh,
Those
okay.
ones sounds like something you'd find out in the wild, and they look like they're be good for nighttime.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Killcash, Ray, anything y'all would like to be doing?
Just sitting there giving stories to a beer card dude and talking about the recent events and whatnot. Nothing really fancy.
How about you give me a charisma check?
What's my charisma? Where is it?
So that's just an ability. So just roll a d20 plus whatever your charisma modifier is. 14. Especially since you've already gotten along well, and he's sort of seen a demonstration of your strength with the doppelgangers. The leader of your caravan is thoroughly entertained by your stories of battle and whatnot, and he'll be a little bit happier and a little bit more open with you going forward.
Woo! I made a buddy.
And then for Aveline, did you change to Aveline, or is it something? Aveline's the new name, right?
Yeah.
It was Jay before.
We'll just
Okay.
stay as Aveline.
Okay. Ava, your familiar's changed to an owl. Is there anything Ray wants to do? Day 18.
She's exploring the books and things. And trying to ask the exploring.
Zab, you're breaking up a ton. I don't know if you're far away from the mic or if it's just internet.
I think I have I like switched my activity because there was one time it was like picking up my fan a lot. Can you hear me any better?
Better that time, but it was still cutting out a little bit.
Okay, I'll experiment in a second.
Okay.
But
I think it sounded like you were saying something about just trying to spend your time reading some of the books from the caravan.
and casting, like, to see if any of them like glow or poke out, but
You
yeah,
said casting what? Detect magic?
books.
At that time, I literally just heard books. That was the only word I heard. That's not just
Exploring
me,
the
right?
books.
Oh no, it's all of us.
Okay.
I just
Except
said
we'll come back to you while you tinker around with the mic for a little bit. I heard you say something about exploring books. We'll have more chances to do that, so we will just come back to that in a minute. All right, well, day 18 is going to proceed, and there's going to be no major events that occur. So y'all are going to get a good night's rest and move on to day 19. Anything y'all want to do then?
So we're about halfway through our journey, correct?
That's right.
Okay.
As far as I know, there are cult members with this caravan.
That's right.
We have kind of narrowed it down, have we not, or no?
So there's a total of six wagons in y'all's group. 3 of them seem to be sort of merchant caravans. There's the 2 that y'all are working, and then the one guy who's selling more just typical trade goods, who seem to be mistreating his animals. The other 3 caravans, or the other 3 wagons, seem to be, they're like with y'all, but they definitely keep their distance, and none of them allow any of y'all to get close. When y'all sort of circle up at night, they circle over by themselves. Certainly unusual behavior for those traveling in a caravan.
Okay.
As far as information directly tying to them to the cult, you don't have any.
When nighttime comes, I'd like to use my familiar to do a little scouting.
Okay. Before we get to that, Kill Cash, Ray, if you've got your mic working.
Yeah, my mic's working.
Is this better at all?
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah.
You want to do your book thing now?
Sure.
Okay. What was it you were saying you were gonna look through the books?
Yeah, exploring the books on the caravan and fucking around and casting detect magic to see if like I was able to find anything interesting, but just trying to read up on anything that caught my eye.
Well, your detect magic does pick something up. There's a bit of a glow sort of from the detect magic coming off from a box over in the corner of the wagon. Besides that, there's books on all kinds of different educational topics. Most of them revolve around magic or the arcane, though there's certainly some about history and other subjects.
I'll say I creep towards it. I don't know if there's anyone else around or watching me, but I try to be kind of nonchalant just so no one tells me to stop messing with them.
When would you be doing this? Is this at night when everybody's rested? Is it during the day when you're resting on the back?
Probably just during the day when there's like downtime and everyone's kind of flocked off doing their own thing.
Okay. Let's give a stealth check Just go ahead and give me a stealth check. Oof. As you're looking it in, you've just picked some really unfortunate timing. And as you reach to open the box, the owner of the wagon comes around the corner, and she goes, "Oh, Ray, how are you doing? Just taking a bit of a rest before we set back off again?"
Yeah, I was just killing time, bored, trying to play it off that I wasn't really messing with that box, just straightening up or something.
Oh, okay. She hops up into the wagon with you. Mind if I spend some time up here with you?
Sure, that's fine.
Why did I just hear Obi-Wan?
I was gonna say I just heard a hello there. She comes and sits down sort of across from you in the wagon and looks up at you and says, "Look, I just wanted to say I saw what you were doing."
Oh,
Yeah, the other day with the horses, that guy was awful. I appreciate what you at least tried to do.
I hate that I couldn't do more. It was a really unfortunate circumstance to be in.
Indeed, if only we had caught it even earlier, but as weak as the horse was, at least it was hopefully able to spend some of its last moments in freedom.
Agreed.
And she just gives you a smile and a soft nod and sort of claps you on the shoulder and said, "Well, we'll be back off in about another 5-10 minutes or so. Are you going to be walking this part, or are you going to be resting in the back?"
I'm already pretty rested up, so I'll be walking.
Okay, wonderful. Well, again, I appreciate y'all's service. Y'all have done an excellent job so far.
Excuse me.
Thank you.
All right, with that, she makes her way back around to the front of the cart. Do you want to try sneaking it again, or are you good for now?
I think I'll try again because she wasn't too direct about it, so I don't know. I'll give it a try again.
Okay, go for it. You can go with advantage this time. Oh, a 20 will definitely do it. As you're sort of getting up, you make it look as if you're about to leave behind her, but you're able to quickly flip open the wooden box, and inside, among a bunch of straw that was sort of used as like packing material to keep everything in there tight, are several tightly bound scrolls with little seals on them.
Interesting. Well, I guess there's no way for me to. I'd have to break it.
Break what?
You say there's like seals on it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like little wax seals.
I'll go ahead and break them and try to give a quick skim.
I mean, from what you can tell, looking at them, these look like spell scrolls, and the seals sort of represent the different schools of magic that they represent.
Okay. I guess that's all I'm seeing. I'll probably put it back for now and revisit it if I feel the need to.
Sure. Yep. Good to know they're there. All right. Aveline, you're going to do the thing at night. Kill Cash. Anything you're doing?
I'm just chilling right now.
All right. In that case, let's go to Aveline. What is it you want to set your owl about to do over the night?
So the caravan that there's 3 of them, I believe, 3 suspicious caravans
Mhm.
who we believe belong to the cult. I like to have my owl stationed nearby to listen in.
Okay.
I believe owls listen. Just see if I can hear anything or see anything with their group. Like if they're like out by the campfire and they're looking at a map or anything or
Sure.
something like that.
You see, because you can kind of see through their eyes and hear through them as long as they're within a certain distance away. You see that there's a number of folks just sitting around a campfire. In terms of what you can hear, you can't make out everything because you're not particularly close by. But they're just sort of talking about the travels of the road. They're laughing about the fact that 2 guards were killed by those doppelgangers that essentially they call them, like you hear them say, novices. Sort of just seemingly joking at everyone's expenses and looking down on the rest of the people there. Eventually, one of the people who you've seen sort of leading one of the wagons comes by and seems to yell something at them, to which they all sort of straighten up, finish their meals, and get up and start walking back around.
Okay. Do I see that dragonborn that was in those purple cloaks that we saw at the very start of the travels?
No, and they would certainly be recognizable if they were here.
Okay.
By the way,
All
boss, we
right.
can see your rolls.
Good call.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No worries. Appreciate it.
In that case, I'll just when it's my I'll just leave my familiar there and I'll just put on notice that if anything significant happens, like drastic, like people start running around or they see blood or anything like that, to send like a telepathic notice to me. I'm assuming my night watch is going to end or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I'll go rest.
Okay. Is that something you want to set them up for every night going forward, or just
Yeah,
tonight specifically?
every night going forward.
Okay. Good to know. All right. In that case, day 19 is going to end. We are going to get to day 20. We've got a map for this. As you've sort of reached your halfway point on this trip, y'all are now getting close to Castle Dragonspear. Outside of that, though, sort of at where the roads seem to meet together, you arrive to a small clan of Dragonborn.
Boy, I was going to say he's on the screen.
Yeah, they're all on the screen because they were here a few days before you.
Sage.
You would know from the meeting y'all had before that this sort of would have been the point where y'all's roots intertwined if nothing went wrong on their side. But by your estimate, the fact that y'all are traveling by wagon, they would have been here several days before y'all. But again, without asking anybody or looking around, sort of, that's just your best guess. So y'all actually be coming in from this side of the town. And then you'll be heading out this way. So as y'all enter the town, nobody really seems to take particular notice of y'all. This is a pretty well-traveled road, so they're used to seeing caravans and whatnot come through. 2 young red dragonborn do stop you on the way in. Whose wagon do you all think would be in the front? If y'all don't have a preference, I can just roll as well.
I mean, if you guys want, I can be up front. That way, they see the black dragonborn first and they don't get suspicious of everybody else at first.
Fair, doesn't matter to me.
I'm fine with that.
Though I am noticing Squeeb's home.
Yeah. Ignore that. Obviously, yeah, y'all, not having been from this town, y'all wouldn't know where things are, but you're welcome to look around if you'd like. Killcash, they see you on the way in, and immediately they are a bit relieved, but you are still a caravan coming through and they need to do their jobs. So they just ask you some generic questions about where you're coming from, how long will you be staying, what's your final destination. As standard for many of these villages, there's a bit of a tithe that you pay to go through the town. But that's something that each individual wagon owner will pay. So essentially, they're asking questions to you as well as your wagon owner, and eventually they wave you through to proceed into town.
Okay.
All right. Well, as y'all move into town, it is getting to the evening, so y'all will likely be resting here. They've essentially pointed you out to this area just past the town, near where you'll be leaving, where there's sort of a big open grassy area where y'all are welcome to make camp, sort of circle your wagons. They do give you a warning, just essentially, if you're just going to be staying overnight, please don't cause any trouble. We do have a couple markets, a couple shops if you're looking to purchase anything. But really, they just sort of, they've seen enough recently and they'd rather y'all be on your way.
I'd like to ask our wagon. I forget her name now.
Yeah, I don't have the names anymore either, unfortunately. And
Well,
I
we
don't
could
think
just
I
make
made
up new
characters for
names.
them.
I'll go up to her and ask if there's anything she wants to buy in town. If there's anything she needs. I can run out and grab anything for her.
She thinks for a moment. She says, nothing in particular I'll need in terms of, goods to be sold or anything. I wouldn't mind a hot meal though. We've been eating nothing but bread and salted meats for quite a few days. If they've got any sort of kitchen or anything, I'd be happy to pay for all of us to share a meal.
If they have a tavern or anything like that.
Sure.
Or a restaurant.
She says, though, I'd rather not eat there. It seems as though we're a bit unwelcome. Could you perchance see if they have anything that you could bring out this way?
Sure. I'll run out of town. Assuming she gave me some money.
Yep. She gives you a few gold pieces to buy meals for everyone. Is Ray going to join you, or are you going to be going alone?
Would you like to join me?
Sure.
All right, go out on a night in the town together to get takeout.
Rude.
Okay.
Don't even ask Killcash.
We're looking for a good all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet with takeout.
Yeah, Killcash, what are you up to during this? And also, you're going to have to remind me, did you and Trip work together on his backstory, or do you know his new backstory?
I seen like the videos. I think Sony told me about it a little bit, but I'm not 100%.
Okay. So I'll take it then you're not 100% aware of things. Cool. All right. In that case, Killcash, is there anything you want to do in town? Are you going with them? Are you heading somewhere else?
Sorry, Ray's trying to get rid of the fact that you almost killed her, or a guy who looked like you. Trauma.
The trauma.
I'll ask my bar cart dude if he wants to go around, get any supplies, food, night on the town.
He says, no. When we're in towns like this is where I do the least of my business, Almost all my sales come on the road when my wares are better than the average salted meats and whatnot that people have packed. So this will just be a night off and a time for us to relax. He said, you're welcome, of course, to go around town if you'd like. If you'd like a bit of spending money, I can give you 2 gold pieces.
I shall take you on your offer.
All right, you get 2 gold pieces.
And a night on the town.
Yeah, the only place you would have seen so far coming into town, Killcash, would have been, as y'all were rolling in, you probably would have heard the clanking of irons in the blacksmith over at number 4. But you're also welcome to just explore as you will.
I'll take a look at the smith while I'm at it.
Okay. We'll have you do that then. In the meantime, let's go back to Aveline and Ray. What is it y'all are looking for in town?
Restaurant, tavern, any food places.
Okay. As y'all come into the square here, you can see that indeed there are a few market stalls set up. And in the middle of town, there's this giant statue made of iron, depicting several heroic dragonborn, sort of in various different battle poses. To one side, over at 1, you can see sort of this open-air town hall. There does seem to be a kitchen in there, where a bunch of people seem to be sitting and eating. And then over by 7, you see what seems to be sort of a training hall and a barracks, where there seems to be a large group of people sitting as well. Though, probably from your estimate, this would be more of like a guardhouse than a common area.
Okay. I guess we'll go to the place that has the kitchen.
Okay. As y'all enter the town hall, sort of, all eyes seem to turn towards you, seeing as y'all are the only 2 non-dragonborn in the room. But there is a line waiting over near a big pot, where they seem to be serving some sort of gruel as well as some various vegetables and meats and whatnot. Can each of y'all give me a perception check?
My perception. Oh, there it is.
8.
12.
Okay, Killcash and Ray would have noticed this as they're walking around the town. There seems to be something odd about the town, given the comments when you came in about them having seen a lot recently and sort of been not rude, but sort of anxious for y'all to leave. As well as around the town, you seem to see that there's not a lot of adults around. There seem to be like a lot of elderly dragonborn as well as a lot of kids. But there doesn't seem to be anybody of sort of like young or middle adult age, which leads you to believe there might have been something bad that happened here in recent history.
Okay.
With that, are the 2 of y'all going to get in line for food?
Yes.
Cool. All right, y'all wait a few minutes, and eventually you get to the front of the line, to which there's an old man serving out of a soup ladle, what appears to be sort of a meat chili. And he sort of spits out to the side and said, "Hey, what are you doing here, Smoothskins?"
Looking to buy some hot meals.
You got the coin for it.
I believe I do. How much?
What are you looking to get? We've got some vegetables here, we've got some potatoes, and we've got chili tonight.
A little bit of everything, nice and warm.
How many meals?
It'll be for 3. Well, technically we have a 3rd guard with us, right?
Yes. I
So
think that was the one that was killed, though, wasn't it? I think it was one of the ones in y'all's group.
okay, then just 3 meals.
All right. That'll be 3 gold pieces then.
I'll give him over. I'm assuming she gave me enough money. I'll hand over the gold pieces from her stash.
Yeah, you've built up enough trust with her. She actually gave you 10 gold pieces, not knowing what you would find or what it would cost. So gave you plenty.
Okay, so 3 warm meals, a little bit of everything.
Lovely. All right. Anything else y'all want to do in the town hall before we move on?
Can I look around?
Of course. In the hall itself, you can see in the area you're in sort of like a cafeteria with a bunch of people. And as stated, there's a number of red and black dragonborn sitting here around the different tables. Many of them seem to be in sort of a somber mood. Um, and as I said, it also seems to be a lot of kids as well as some elderly folk. The kids at least seem to be at least a little oblivious to the somber mood, with several of the even younger ones playing games and various things and running around.
What kind of games we talking about?
Just things like checkers. They've got little dolls running around with sticks.
Kind
Kid
of
things.
kinds of child games.
Or you gonna see if they're playing poker or something?
See if I can cheat a kid of his pocket money, you know? He don't need it. Is there any, like, elderly people around that look loose-lipped that I can determine?
Give me a perception check. Ooh, if only it was the latter.
Oh, man.
13. From what you can tell, this seems to be a very tight knit group. There might be some people you can identify that you think probably would have more information, just given how the people around them react or where they're sort of sitting and how many people are around them. But as to whether or not they would be willing to share that information, only one way to find out.
So I don't really see any easy targets, so
No.
I think Aveline thinks she's done here for now.
Okay. Ray, anything you want to do while you're there before we go to kill cash?
Nope.
Okay then. Sorry, let me pull this map back up. All right, kill cash. You return to the blacksmith, and as you enter, you see this large, older black dragonborn bent over irons with like those. Oh, why am I blanking on the word?
Anvil?
No, I was gonna say. God, what is it when you fuse metal together? Welding. He's got like welding goggles on to essentially like protect him from the bright light as he hammers out iron over an anvil. Seems he's making some sort of sword. And against the back wall, you can see that there's several different pieces that look in sort of various states of finish. Nothing like super high quality, but you can tell it's at least well made. Be good for soldiers and guards and whatnot.
But nothing for old kill cache.
Probably nothing that's going to be better than your +1 great axe. No.
Damn. I'm in a foul mood. Where's the tavern?
Are you asking me or are you asking the blacksmith?
Oh, that's the blacksmith.
He doesn't seem to respond to you as he just continues to clang out the iron. He may have not heard you.
Do I have to roll to yell at him, ask him where the tavern is?
Nope. Do you want to
Excuse
just
me,
get
where's
closer?
The tavern?
As I was gonna say, do you want to just get closer or ask louder? To that, he sort of hears you and then says, "Oh, sorry about that. Wait one moment." He takes his glasses off and looks at you for a moment, and it would be weird for I don't know how to explain this on a black dragonborn, but he seems to go pale in the face. And he sort of looks at you and in just total silence, which is very contradictory to just sort of the loud clanging that was coming here from a moment. He goes, Go. Is that? Couldn't be. Oh, sorry, sir. You were saying something.
Yeah, I was asking where your tavern was.
Tavern. Heavy drinker, are you?
Indeed, I am.
Huh. Just like him. You wouldn't happen to know Squeeb, would you?
That name does not sound familiar to me for some
Squeeb?
reason. I have amnesia from my past. I was kidnapped at a young age and forced to be a mercenary and induced to torture. I cannot remember my past.
Well, you know Squeeb from your party, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you do recognize the name Squeeb.
Yeah.
Okay. I was
I'm
like,
just saying, like, I didn't know how to play along with that.
yeah, no, he totally fine. He's like, oh, so you do know Squeeb. You say y'all were party members? Yeah, he and his crew came in not a few days ago. I'm actually his father.
Oh, well, pleasure to meet you, sir.
Yeah, Squeeb Senior, they call me. Um, are y'all just passing through town as well? He had mentioned that y'all might be coming through later.
Yes, we are. We are just guarding some caravans right now. Some carts and whatnot just passing by, and figure we'll stay the night or two and venture out throughout the town.
Oh, I see. Yeah, he was in quite the hurry as well. Seems he's on some important questing or some such.
Indeed.
Well, wonderful. Sorry again. What was it you asked for?
The tavern.
Sure. I can take you over there. And he sort of walks over to you, and he sees your battle axe, and he goes, My, that's a fine weapon.
Oh, well, thank you. Would you like to hold it and look at it?
Would you mind?
I would not mind at all. Hands over the axe.
Um, he takes a look at your axe, and he's like, My, this is something. That's quite the quality weapon you have here.
Thank you.
It's a bit worn though from your travels. Would you mind if I sharpened it right quick? I'll point you to the direction of the tavern, then you can stop by. In another 30 minutes or so, and I'll be done.
How much would that cost me?
Oh, for a friend of my son's, consider it free.
Are you sure?
Positive. It'd be my honor.
I'll take you up on your offer, kind sir.
Of course, anything for a hero of the town. Friend of my son's. Um, Very well. He points you sort of to the direction of the town hall, and says, um, "If you say that you're a friend of Squeeb's, they'll be sure to give you some alcohol as well. Normally, we save that for townsfolk, but if you say they know you know them, then I'm sure they'll be happy to share some with you."
Awesome.
All right then. Well, I'll see you back in 30 minutes. If I don't if I finish before you get back over here, I'll just head to town hall as well. I'll be needing to get my supper as well. But it was a pleasure seeing you again.
Thank you. Great to meet you.
Oh, right. Good to meet you. He sort of nods awkwardly and gets back, puts his goggles back on as he takes your axe over to a grinding stone and starts sharpening the weapon.
Sweet.
Cool. When you get that back, you'll have advantage on your next 3 attacks.
Fuck yeah. Do I get
Cool.
to choose the advantage if I want to? Or does it just
No,
automatically
it's
go?
just the next 3 times you attack, it'll have
Okay.
advantage.
Okay.
So you'll just burn through those on your next 3.
Okay.
It's like I'm just giving it essentially a temporary buff.
Sweet. I'll take it.
Cool. All right. You're gonna head to the town hall now.
Town hall. Okay.
That's where he said the tavern was. So as you walk in, you'll see, we'll say Aveline and Aveline and Ray are still there.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are probably preparing to leave by the time he gets in. But y'all sort of bump into each other as Kilcash is coming in and y'all are leaving.
Utter silence.
Oh, and I thought y'all were friends here.
Well, you're the ones that never greeted me. It's always ladies first.
It's nice seeing you, Killcash.
Hi.
Finally
Same.
found this line.
Would you ladies like to care for a drink? I'm going to head into the tavern and get some ale.
Maybe after we drop off the food, if you're up for it, Evelyn.
I can always use some drinks.
I shall see
Well,
you
we'll
when you
do
return.
yeah.
Okay, we'll
I'm
say
gonna-
y'all head out. Y'all return to have dinner with y'all's caravan driver, which takes about half an hour. Y'all are welcome to return to the tavern, or excuse me, to the town hall after that if you'd like. We'll say around that same time, too, Squeeb Sr. comes back in, and he sits down at a spot next to you, Killcash, and returns to you your axe, and starts to ask you about sort of your travels and if you've been, like, how things have been with Squeeb. Have y'all gotten to, like, do any cool fights together or anything like that?
We've had some good how do you want to word it? Good squalls, good fights together. We parted for a little while, but I'm sure we'll get to regroup soon. And then just recently, we were on our way here. We ran into some hiccups down the road and lost some of our guardsmen along the way. But everyone else is alive and well.
He sort of nods his head in understanding. The field of the dead. Yeah, it's quite the dangerous area. At least y'all have probably passed the worst of things for now.
I hope so.
We'll say at this point, Aveline and Ray return, and they see Killcash sort of exchanging light conversation with this other Black Dragonborn.
Hey, welcome. Squeeb Senior. These are my fellow groups. Aveline and I forget your name, Sab.
Ray.
These are the one. This is my other party group that's guarding some caravans along the way as well.
I'll do a I don't think it's called a curtsy, but like a nod or a bow.
Sure, like a slight bow.
Yeah.
Cool. To that, he sort of nods his head at you and says, "Oh, no need to bow. Any friends of Squeeb's are welcome here in Clan Rakdos."
Now that everyone is here, I'd like to order the strongest drink you have for me and my friends here.
Wait, so Squeeb Senior's like at the tavern with us?
Yes.
Yep. He's sitting next to it, or we'll say he's sitting across from Killcash.
Let's say while we're all sitting, I'll kind of ask him what's up with the observation of noticing there's only like children and the elderly. What exactly, kind of just things feel off around here, and seeing if he has any insight or how he reacts to that.
To that, he says, "Oh, well, perhaps we should have a stronger drink first." And he motions over to somebody and calls out for some fire wine, uh, which is a drink made especially by Dragonborn, known to be particularly strong. Literally supposed to taste like fire and sort of put a fire in your gut. So he brings over 4 mugs of that, and y'all are welcome to partake as much or as little as you'd like.
I'll have it.
I'll take it.
Okay. We'll do once. Ray, are you going to drink as well?
I'll sip on it for now.
Okay. We'll start with 1 sip for everybody. I'm going to need y'all to make Constitution checks.
Oh gosh.
Constitution.
Aveline is just fine. Ray, you are hammered after like a sip. Killcash, you are doing just fine. Ray will now have disadvantage on any charisma checks. Killcash and Aveline will have +2 on any charisma related checks.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Is that for the remainder of the session or?
Just for while you're in clan Rakdos.
Gotcha. I sure haven't had this
Also,
in
let me see.
a while.
Go ahead.
Burns good.
Yes, it's a very nice burn.
Squeep Senior seems to take a sip as well and goes, yeah, this is the good stuff, isn't it? And despite him being a black dragonborn, his cheeks seem to be quite red from the big bit he just took in.
One big swig.
One big swig. Do y'all want to keep drinking, or do y'all want to go ahead and ask your questions now?
I'm gonna keep drinking.
All right,
Hey,
Constitution check if you want to keep.
I'll take another sip.
All right, Constitution checks each of you.
16.
Ray's like slightly panicking at how everyone's handling it so well. Like, are they
She's
starring
like, how the
more?
fuck did they do that? Killcash is doing just fine. He has a +4 bonus now.
Woo!
Aveline, in her overconfidence and her hubris, decided that she could take another. And while you do still have that +2 bonus, you're going to be at disadvantage now. Because now you're sloshed.
Fine. I'm relying on the +8.
All right. Let me roll one more time to see how he does as well. He handles his second sip just fine. Again, becoming quite boisterous now, but he's by no means sloshed.
You say anything about sipping? I ain't sipping.
Killcash, do you want to go again, or are you good for now?
I'll risk it. I'll go again.
Okay, go for it.
22.
Killcash does it again. You have a +6 to your charisma right now. And he's going to keep drinking with you, and he's doing just fine.
Oh god.
Like I said, this was made for Dragonborns. So, they're both fine. Do you want to keep rolling? You tell me when you want to stop.
What happens if how Aveline's doing? You said she's got disadvantage. She doesn't get the plus anymore, or?
She still does because she
I've
succeeded
just
one.
got
So you'll
disadvantage.
still get your plus, but you're gonna have disadvantage on it.
We'll go again.
All right.
Fuck.
Oh, there you go. Should have stopped. So you have your +6, but it's gonna be at disadvantage now because you're sloshed. And he's doing just fine. So he's got a +8 modifier if he wants to do something, if you'll challenge him. With that, I think Ray raised a good point, and he sort of, now that y'all have all been drinking and having some light conversation, he goes, so you asked about the town, eh? Did y'all see the statue out in the courtyard?
Nods head.
I made it myself, quite proud of it, but it's to commemorate. We fought in a war a few years back, and we lost a lot of good soldiers then. He said we thought we'd lost Squeeb as well. He disappeared after one of the battles, but it was heartening to see him back and that he's doing well. More and more surprises. People seem to keep coming back to us.
That is interesting. Aveline's trying to keep her interest in this conversation.
Killcash is eyeballing the people in the bar for a fight.
You're gonna what?
I said Killcash is eyeballing people in the bar for a fight.
I like to try and notice what he's doing and then smack him at the back of the head saying, "Don't start a fight." I want to save your starry ass again.
That just makes me want to do it even more.
Killcash, there does seem to be a grizzled old veteran in the corner who seems to be a bit irritated at how loud your group has become.
I
Yes.
stomp and tumble on over there and give him some shit talking.
I'm gonna just put my hands in my face. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm tired of this guy.
At your approach, the Black Dragonborn, the grizzled old veteran, looks up at you and goes, "Oi, what do you want?
I see
Aren't
ya.
you being bothersome enough already?"
What was that, you old coot?
Old
problem with
coot.
me?
I'm not that old.
Here I am trying to enjoy some good ale with my group and party. Met up with a friend's father, and you're over here eyeballing us, giving us the stank eye, thinking you're all Billy Badass.
Give me an intimidation check with +6, but also disadvantage.
Okay, you said intimidation. Okay. Whoops. Add 3 to that. Fucking dog.
Okay, you got to roll twice for disadvantage.
So 17.
Okay. Plus, well, so what's your charisma modifier?
3.
Or for your intimidation? It's +3.
Yeah.
Okay, then you would have added 6 to that as well. So,
So 17, 23, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
23. Yeah, you're just fine. To that, he sort of looks up and goes, I'm sorry, I didn't know. We've lost so many. It's good to see some folks getting to know each other again. I apologize.
That's what I thought.
He just
Alan's
sort of lowers his head and goes back to his drinking.
Alan's in the background, like, not saying it, but mouthing out, like, pussy.
All right.
D&D.
Anything else y'all want to do, or any questions you want to ask Screech Senior?
Dungeons and Dragons.
No.
Go ahead.
All
You're
right. Then are y'all gonna head back to your caravan?
Unfortunately.
Okay.
Well, yes.
Kill Cash. Roll me an insight check.
Bro, quit giving me all this shit.
So we still have the +6.
That's for charisma.
That's only for charisma related checks.
Yeah.
Insight,
16.
I want to say, is wisdom. As you proceed down the road here, Kill Cash, there's this sort of
No.
empty
You'll have to
house you go
unplug,
past. It's labeled
the fan
Dual
or
School
charger
sign
over
down
there.
here. It looks a bit abandoned. The lights are off inside. Nobody seems to be paying it any mind. But you sense sort of a strange familiarity with it. You can't place it, but something sort of draws you to it.
Yeah, just do that. It should. I would like to go venture the abandoned building.
Okay, you're going inside?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What are you doing?
You go inside, and as it appeared from the outside, it is indeed abandoned.
I'm fucking plugged in, dude.
And as you go in, you sort of see that there's a number of different pieces of toppled furniture around. It seems as some of the kids might have been coming in here.
Bring it here.
There's a couple places where with charcoal and stuff they've written on the walls.
You sure
And
it's
said,
been
like,
all right?
there's one that says Dweeb was here. A couple other things. Just kids
Should
having
be a
fun.
little
There's like a
blue light
tic-tac-toe board that somebody made. No lights are on or anything, so the setting sun is sort of the last bit of light coming in through the windows that you can see, so it's actually quite dark.
Yeah. I don't find anything in the said building.
No, as you're inside, sort of that sense of familiarity continues to grow, but you still can't seem to place it.
Damn. Should be. Shouldn't. I'll go back to my caravan then.
Okay. As you leave the house, that sort of feeling seems to loosen its grip on you, and your mind clears as you return to the caravan. All right. With that, are y'all going to go ahead and take your night's sleep?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wunderbar. Okay. With that, nothing particular happens that night. Y'all wake up and you're getting ready to leave in the morning. Is there anything last minute y'all would like to do before leaving Clan Rakdos?
Nothing from me.
Mm, no.
Kilkesh? Often.
Muffin is muted.
All right, then I'll go ahead and say we move on. If he's got something, we can always come back. All right, let's get y'all back on the world map.
Was that dragon? No, we were just before Dragon Spear, right?
That was essentially at Dragonspear. So Dragonspear is actually a castle that was sort of off the main road. It's more of a landmark than it is like an actual city or anything. It's an old abandoned castle for centuries. Oh, that didn't move me back to the map. Y'all are back on the world map, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. Oh, Muffin, was there anything you wanted to do last minute before leaving Dragonspear?
I'd like to go visit Squeeb Senior one last time.
Okay. You're gonna just stop at the Smith in the morning?
Yeah.
During this, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
All right, go for it. Indeed, he's there bright and early, beginning his work for the day. Seems he's making some arrowheads.
I shout at him, say hello.
He doesn't seem to hear you.
I walk up to him and tap him on the shoulder. I was like, hello.
Oh, he looks over his shoulder. Oh, so sorry about that. Oh, it's you again. I figured y'all might have already been gone.
We're actually getting on our way to leave right now, but I wanted to stop and see you one last time.
Oh, that's kind of you, my boy. Y'all be off then. Hopefully y'all be meeting back up with Squeeb sometime soon, I hope.
I hope so as well. I'll have to tell him I met you and everything else. Had some ale with you.
For sure. You tell him he better write home this time. It was too long since we'd seen him before.
Will do.
Thank you, my boy. And just remember, you should consider this a home. You're always welcome to come back.
I appreciate that, sir. On a side note, do you think I have anything I can give to him as like a memento so he remembers me, or nah? I don't know what I can give him.
When you were crafting your totem for your totem barbarian, you probably did that a bunch of different times to greater or less success until you came upon the final version that you'd like. So while it's not going to be a direct duplicate of the one you ended up with, you'll probably have something that's similar to the totem you have, which is a bear totem. What was the one you selected again?
Yeah, the totem warrior, the bear one.
Was it the bear?
Yeah.
So you've got a couple different necklaces and like little charms of carved bears. They were essentially like your practice rounds, if you want to give one to them.
I like the one right before I got the perfect one, like the damn near final one. I would give him like the best one of the totem and the necklace to give to him.
He sort of takes it from your hands and goes, "Oh, what is this?"
It's a little farewell gift, something to remember me by.
You see this old, big, burly man sort of flip the totem over in his hands, and his eyes start to tear up, and he just gives you a big hug, um, which seems unusual for like a friend of one of his sons, but he gives you this big hug and holds you tight there for a moment, before letting go, and just sort of coughs away. He's like, "Well, thank you. Greatly appreciated. You and Squeeb come home safe here."
I will. I'll make sure you return safely.
Good. Well, I won't say goodbye then. I'll say till next time.
And before I leave, I tip him the 2 gold coins I was given.
Okay. That's kind of you. He takes it in pockets and says, You're too kind. We'll see you later."
I wish you on the best endeavors of your blacksmith shop.
He gives you a deep bow before putting his goggles back on and returning to work.
Alright, now I'm all good to go.
No. Okay. In that case, y'all will go ahead and move on. It is now day 21 on the road. Anything in particular y'all want to do?
No, not really.
Nada.
Okay. Something does happen on the road. Don't know if it was. You don't know why, but as you're going around a turn just north of Dragonspear now, one of the wheels on one of the other 3 caravans from the group you don't recognize falls off, and the caravan turns over to spill out a variety of different pieces of gold, jewelry, expensive-looking weapons, silks, just a whole miscellany of seemingly expensive items. The group of 3, wagons and all the people on them begin to panic as they sort of run to go pick up everything, get the wagon upright, get everything back in the wagon. But it takes them long enough that the entire caravan has caught up at this point, and everybody sees that, there's some sort of interesting stuff being carried by this group.
Can we see exactly what they're carrying?
Nobody lets you get close enough, but it doesn't exactly seem like a merchant's hall. You catch my meaning? Just given the pure variety of different things they have. All of it looks expensive, but it's not as if it's a blacksmith merchant or a silk merchant or anything of that. Like, they have just a whole smorgasbord of stuff.
Is it something where if I send my owl in that I can see what they have, or no? It'd be too late.
You're welcome to try. It's currently about a little bit after noon, so it might be a bit misplaced. Or out of place, rather.
Out of place to see an owl?
Yeah,
okay.
During the middle of the day.
I won't do it.
Okay.
I'll withstand the toll. I'll just mental note.
Okay. Is there anything y'all want to try to do to get a closer look or anything like that? Any spells y'all want to cast to get a sense of what's there?
I don't think I have anything helpful.
What are we trying to do? Sorry.
Did you hear what I said about the wagon overturning?
Yeah, I remember that. I zoned out for a second. I can't remember what we were trying to do. You said something about spells or whatever.
Oh, just if y'all wanted to get closer or ask any questions or try to find out anything about it.
I'll go over and see if they need assistance, like lifting the cart and whatnot.
Two of the guards for the caravan step between you and everything that's spilled over, and they say, "Hold it there. Back up a step, buddy. Where do you think you're going?"
I'm gonna go offer my assistance to this cart and see if they need any help lifting up the cart and getting everything fixed back together.
We don't need any help over here, buddy. You just go back and guard your caravans.
What's with the snarky attitude?
Look, you offered to help. We don't need the help. It's appreciated. We'll have you take your day. We've got this handled.
Next time if someone offers to help, you don't be rude and disrespectful and give them the attitude that you just did. You say it politely.
Yeah, sure, buddy. Whatever.
Is that a cocky attitude in your voice just now?
Sure.
I look back at Aveline and Ray and be like, can I hit this guy now?
To you saying that, they both put hands on their weapons and say, "Oh yeah, for a scrap, mate. You're not going to make it out."
You don't want this.
At this point, your wagon leader comes over and goes, hold on. What's going on here? No need to shed blood. What's the problem?"
These guards are being rude and disrespectful after I offered my assistance to help with this cart, and they're probably thinking I'm I can't speak. Think I'm some sort of thief.
Okay, well, you offered your help. Did they say they needed it?
But they were rude. They could have asked.
And
They could have said it politely.
that's worth shedding blood over, is it?
I was getting ready to walk
Oh,
away,
no.
and
Let's
then
just...
he said something under his breath and everything, and then I look over at Ray and Aveline and ask if I can hit this guy.
They just look at the two guards between them, look over at the caravan owner, and just says, "All right, mate, won't you get your dog on the leash, huh? Just y'all get back to doing what you're doing and mind your own business."
What did you just call me?
To which he just nods his head and says, "Come on, Killcash, come on. They don't want our help, clearly. Let's leave it to them."
No. I want an apology for being called a dog right now.
Are you trying to intimidate them, or are you just saying that to them?
I'll intimidate.
Okay. Roll for intimidation.
What was the +6 on again? Or is that just for back then?
You don't have that anymore? That was just for back then?
Okay. Nat 20.
Nat 20. Despite being outnumbered, you sort of get up in their faces, and perhaps it's the shine of that newly sharpened axe, but you can hear sort of an audible gulp from both of them. Certainly not a dog. We didn't say that. We said dragon. You are a mighty dragon, sir. We wouldn't want you to help because it'd be a waste of your time and effort. Too good for you, or too poor of work for you, rather.
That's what I thought. Spit at the ground between their feet and walk away.
You just hear an audible release of breath as the tension leaves their body, and you hear them muttering something about God, I think that guy was about to kill us. And they go back to sort of cleaning up the spilled over wagon. All right. Good to move on, or is there anything else anybody wants to do?
I'm good right now.
I'm good.
Alrighty then. The day goes on without any further incidents, but the guards for those other three caravans, particularly the wagon drivers, seem to be quite on edge. And one of them in particular, who's dressed in sort of the nicest fineries of all of them, yells at his subordinates several times throughout the day and seems quite pissed off. Let's say, Aveline, give me a perception check. 21. You get the sense that from sort of the attitude and the what happened during the day that something interesting might happen that night as those caravans sort of group themselves together. And indeed it does. You see a group of them head off into the woods that night, a group of 4 of them, including the one who's sort of dressed in the finest garments. We'll just call him sort of the leader of that group for now. Do you want to use your owl to follow them in?
Yep, and my owl has keen hearing and sight. So
Okay.
he has
What's
advantage
the
on-
limit on what you can hear and see, though? Because at this point, they would be several hundred yards away.
I don't see anything. I have the speed.
I think I'm Find Familiar. The spell Find Familiar, it should tell you.
So I have a familiar must be within 100 feet of me to use its reaction to deliver a spell when you cast it. I think at 100 feet it has to be within range. Yeah. Communicate with it telepathically.
Okay, yeah, you will be well out of that range once they move to the forest, so you're going to need to follow along.
Yeah.
I imagine stealthily if you don't want to be found.
Yep. I'll go stealthily.
Okay, so give me a stealth check as well. We'll say, oh, well, you did well enough anyways. I was going to say with advantage since you're decently far away. You're able to sort of stay within that 100-foot radius or so, just trying to keep your distance. As you sort of see them enter the woods and you just sort of keep on the edge. And once you get to the edge of the woods, you switch over to that sort of. Because I think you can't move, if I recall.
Yeah, I
It says
don't think
like
I can move because all of my senses are going towards the owl.
Yeah, so we'll say you kind of switch over to the owl, and they go about another 50 feet sort of into the tree line before they stop. And it seems that the leader, as well as 2 guards, have seemed to like kick the other one on the ground, and he's yelling at him about his failures or that he's sort of missed an ambush. It sounds like, or not an ambush. What's the right word? It sounds like they think that somebody intentionally broke the wheel, that it wasn't just an accident, and that they think this guard either intentionally allowed somebody to do it, that he like knows something, or regardless, it seems like it was his shift the night before or something like that. And he missed somebody damaging the wheel.
Okay.
After a bit of questioning and him continuously denying that like nobody messed with the wheel, it was just an accident, I swear, one of them pulls out a sword and lops his head off, to which they begin to make their way back out of the forest.
I'm going to try and keep, like, I won't be sharing my owl senses, but we'll be talking back and forth. I'll try and keep like 80 feet in front of them so they don't notice me, but still stealthily make my way out. And then I'll keep my owl on them for the rest of the night.
Okay. You make your way back to the camp and they return to their part of the camp. Nothing else of particular note happens during the camp besides there just being a sense of dread from the guards in the camp, sort of recognizing that one of them didn't come back, and sort of the general angst of the leader, who seems to be lashing out several more times.
Um. Okay. Okay. I was thinking of doing a funny, but I won't.
By all means, if you'd like to.
I haven't
I
been
was thinking of going and messing with the wagon wheel again.
Up
They're going to go mess with it, so it happens again. So they kill another one of their guards.
Hey, up to you.
Uh,
Once you get back to your wagon, are you going to share any of that information with
oh
Ray?
yeah, I'll share it with Ray.
Okay.
Can I, when it's my nighttime shift, can I see who else is on their nighttime shift?
Sure. Between them, they had like I think 10 guards originally. So now they're down to 9. So I think it'd be 3 per shift. So they have 3 different guards, sort of, stationed at various points around their circle of wagons.
That's not fun. Okay, I'm not gonna attempt anything. I feel like 3 people's too much to handle.
Could be.
There's 2? I could handle 2. Minor owl distraction, doing cute things. 3 people, nah.
All right then. Anything else y'all want to do on day 21?
Eh.
All right, then we will proceed to day 22. Anything y'all are doing in particular on day 22?
Just vibing with the card, dude.
All right,
Same thing. Owl stalking.
cool. Ray?
Yeah, just saying. Is anyone thinking of the SpongeBob reference every time you announce a new day, or is that just me?
I never thought of it. Probably just you.
When Krusty Krab goes 24 hours, day 100, and he's like ringing the bell. I hear it every time it says it.
Day 23. Ding, 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 ding.
Or no sleep.
What day was it again?
21, I think.
Some of the events we had is sort of in this middle period were loaded, so I was going one day at a time. After this, I'm going to skip forward a week. But anything on day 23 in particular y'all want to do?
No.
Okay. At this point, we're going to say that y'all are about here-ish. Excuse me, actually, y'all would be closer to probably here. You're about a third of the way to Daggerford from Dragonspear now.
What?
As that night rolls around, Ray,
Nice.
you're up on your night watch.
I can't because it's gonna be a few
And
hours.
just as the sun's sort of
Another
starting
hour
to
or so.
set, you see what seems to be sort of a glow on the edge of the tree line in the forest nearby. Sort of a golden glow.
Mm-hmm. Is that all you're giving me?
Would you like to investigate?
I'll investigate. I'll be the sucker.
You haven't seen it.
Oh, this is
You're
bullshit.
still snoozing.
I thought the monologue, I was like, maybe he's gonna keep going.
No.
Yeah, I'll investigate.
It's just too far away to see for now. As you make your way closer, the golden glow seems to sort of blind you a bit less, and you can start to make out the shape of it. It seems like a massive golden stag. Seems to just be standing off on the edge of the forest. It seems the glow was actually less from him himself than it was the evening sunlight sort of reflecting off his golden fur.
And what is he doing? Just sitting there?
Just sitting there staring at you.
Gosh, I wish I could. I had the communicate with animals one. I can't. Hmm.
From the point you're at, you can still see your caravan if you needed to motion down to anybody.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Doggo.
I don't think the dog is in my room and I'm confused. Okay. I think I'll flag down the rest of my crew.
Me.
And Evelyn. And see what they think of not the dog, the stag.
Okay.
Oh.
So you'll sort of yell down at them. Just call out their names, I suppose, and like motion for them to come join you on the hill.
Mm.
Cool. Do y'all go and join Ray up on the hill?
I'll just make a note to the wagon cart owner. If they're awake. I'm just stepping out for a moment. Yell if you need me. I won't be that far. And I'll go join her.
She looks at you and says, "Okay, dear, take your time. Have your fun."
I'll give her a little wink.
She just smiles and nods and goes back to reading a book.
I'll kill Cash Mosquitoes. He's
What?
not
You
here.
said I was asleep.
No, not yet. It's like the night shift is about to begin. You'd be probably getting ready for bed, but still awake if you wanted to join.
Sure, why not?
Okay. As y'all make sort of your way over the ridge that was right next to the road, indeed y'all can see down into the woods as well, where this golden stag is still just standing there, seemingly staring at y'all.
That looks like it's worth quite a bit of gold. Could probably sell its hide and those horns.
Okay, you little thieving goblin, calm down first.
Look, it's golden and it's staring at us, and look at it.
Alright, if we're gonna be doing any sort of killing, I'll go for it.
No, you're gonna scare it away.
I got a crossbow. I can shoot it.
As y'all are talking, it seems to make sort of like a bowing motion with its head that you see like deers do. I don't know. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Where they sort of just like,
I know what you're talking
lower
about.
their antlers kind of towards you. And then it turns around and begins to walk into the woods.
I follow.
As it walks away, it sort of turns its head as if to look at y'all and beckon y'all in.
I wonder if it poops gold. Anyways.
Only one way to find out.
I follow.
Same.
Dice stat.
For some reason, I have a bad feeling about this, but I'll go.
But he looks like a good boy.
Each of y'all give me a nature check to try and follow it through the woods.
Nature, okay.
We're down 20!
Okay, Ray is able to sort of...
I am picking up on its golden poop and I am following it.
Able to find the tracks well enough to sort of follow it. But Aveline has been poor and destitute enough to where she sort of had to almost understand how her prey thinks. And she's had to hunt for food for a living. Or rather to live.
All those rats.
She doesn't even have to look for the prints in the ground. She just almost seems to know what direction it's going in. Before you know it, y'all have reached what appears to be a large stone ruin. And there seems to be some sort of glow coming from the ruin. Would you all like to enter?
Yes.
Yes.
As you enter, there's no longer a stag there, but seemingly a somewhat young-looking man that resembles an elf, but has this sort of dark golden skin. He seems to have these... You can't tell if it's a headpiece or a crown, or perhaps something else, but it seems like he has these almost smallish antlers protruding from the top of his head. He's wearing a long white robe and bows as y'all enter the ruins and beckons you closer.
Man, there goes my golden deer. There goes my money maker. I'll just slowly step forward, disappointed a bit.
And as y'all step forward, he looks to you and says, "Greetings. Not everyone who can follow me to my home. Are you all travelers then?"
Yep.
Perhaps.
Yep, we are.
Indeed. Well, I would say I would welcome you to my home, but as you can see, it's not exactly what it used to be.
And why do you say that?
That's for sure.
What happened?
You were also a golden deer, and now you're
I
you're not what you used to be.
I don't really recall it. It seems like it was just a few days ago, but from the ruins, it seems it's been far longer than that. I used to be a prince over these lands. Have y'all heard of the Thalmor? The not the Thalmor. That's Skyrim. I think it's the Zolmar. Uh, the Zolmar Empire.
I have not.
Nope.
Do y'all want to try and do a history check?
Let me see what my history is at. I mean, I can give it a
The
shot.
Aveline Zolmar just sounds like a funny name.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Same to kill cash. He says, Empire? like auto insurance? Ray, you at least recognize the name. You think it has something to do with like a really ancient race of elves? Or like something like that, but you don't know really anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, well, I used to be from the royal family here, but seems we were cursed by some god or another, and I'm the only one left now. And as you can see, he starts to begin transforming in front of you. And as he transforms, his voice changes from common into a deep. Does anybody know Sylvan?
No.
No.
Like mid sentence, all of a sudden, y'all can't understand him anymore, and it just sounds like sort of the like a breeze going through leaves. Like it's just a very old language, but you can't make anything of it. As he continues his sentence, he kind of claps his hooves on the ground, seemingly angry, and then transforms back into the young elf man again. He goes, my goodness, I should be quicker about this. It seems we were cursed at some point in time, and I can't hold this form for very long. It drains my magical reserves quite quickly. But I would do anything to get rid of this curse and just be able to finally move on with the rest of my family. Is there happen to be any sort of mages in your group, or perhaps in a city nearby?
What kind of magic you looking for?
Anything that can break a curse, arcane, holy, whatever can do it. I don't know much about it.
I can hurt you. That's about it. I can do.
Same.
So I can hurt you. Is what you said?
Yeah, I can deal pain. That's about it.
He takes a step back and is like, definitely don't want that.
How much you want me to cat?
If y'all will recall, the city that y'all are heading to, Waterdeep, is known as sort of like a city of wizards, where a great deal of magic is held and studied. And in fact, like the leadership of the city is all magicians of a various sort, where knowledge is sort of held in the most highest regard.
Maybe we can help you if we come back. I don't have anything to help you.
Could y'all take me someplace that does, perhaps?
You want to come with us?
Well, that depends. Y'all are the only ones I saw. Do you think you could escort me there safely?
How can we trust you?
I suppose as much as you can trust any other golden stag you find randomly in the woods. I have nothing to offer you, if that's what you mean. My home is literally a ruin.
Hmm. Do we need to walk away and the three of us have a meeting real quick?
Maybe.
Okay, we'll sidebar
Hold
and
it.
He sort of nods and says, "Take your time, but do try to be quick about it." As like he begins to transform back into a stag again, and again sort of angrily claps his hooves on the ground.
Eileen, do you trust him?
How do we get an elf stag guy to get into a city? Or to join the caravan is my question.
We tie him up.
We could maybe make some kind of ploy of like, oh, look at this thing we caught. We keep him alive, and I don't know. Like since we've gotten onto pretty good terms with the lady on our caravan. Now, biggest thing is I guess no one either trying to steal him or trying to kill him. So,
Yeah.
do you think that would work?
I feel like Our Lady will be very open to it. I just can't trust the other caravans to not hurt him in any way, shape, or form. But we could probably talk to her and sneak him onto her caravan. Potentially.
Kilcash, what are your thoughts?
I mean, after the last person we picked up from on the side of the road, they said they were innocent, just like how this man is.
Okay.
I have trust
But they were very voluptuous ladies.
Yes, they very well so, but we were deceived last time. Who's to say we get deceived this time? He could just be doing a ploy to attack us and ambush us.
Could always ask him to do like a vow or something.
We could always take
Over in the corner of the ruins,
Just
the
swear.
stag is giving you literally the best doe eyes he can.
I give him the finger for the doe eyes.
But he's
It
a
feels
stag.
suspicious, but I feel like I trust him, and we could try to take some kind of precautions of when we're asleep to keep him contained in a certain area. I'm not sure. I'm fine with pretending to smuggle him, though.
The moment he acts up, I'm killing him.
Right, well, I guess that's the plan. We're gonna try and smuggle him into our cart. Well, probably talk to the lady and then smuggle him into the cart.
Okay, with that, do y'all have a plan, or are y'all gonna go talk to Mr. Dearboy first, or are you gonna go back and talk to the caravan first?
If you want, I can go back and talk to the caravan while you talk to him. I could meet you halfway, whether it's a yay or nay.
Yeah.
So I'll head back to the caravan first to talk to Our Lady.
Okay.
Me and Kilcash can approach Mr. Dearman.
Okay. As y'all sort of return to him, if y'all are going to actually invite him along, I should make up a name for him.
We call him
That
Goldie. The golden deer.
that feels sus. Balls didn't even have a name ready.
To be fair, there's a lot of people in this game. There's literally hundreds, if
Yeah,
not
but
thousands.
if he didn't have a name, does that mean that
Oh.
he's a small side quest that
Our
does not?
caravan lady didn't have it. Well, she had a name, but she doesn't have a name anymore.
I feel like he's given. Oh, okay. Maybe that was just when we had more time. He gave like the backstories and names to people that we met for like 30 seconds. But
Okay. As y'all sort of walk towards him again, he returns to his form from before. Says, "Oh, have y'all finished your discussion? Are y'all gonna help me out after all?"
yes, so Aveline is going back to talk to the lady in charge of our caravan, and the idea I could think of with you being, of elf descent, it'd probably be you'd stick out like a sore thumb. So smuggling you in your deer form seems to, I don't know, just you'd have to go along and trust us with whatever, and in return, I guess we will also trust you. But my friend Killcash here, he probably consider you on thin ice already, so don't be too suspicious. Just follow our leads.
As you say, I will say in my stag form, I won't be able to help being particularly suspicious, but I'll do everything I can. Would y'all prefer me to show my true form to the members around to try to build trust? I'm willing to follow whatever y'all think is best.
I think for now we'll just stay with that. We have to see how open at least the lady in our caravan is. I feel like we aren't super familiar with everyone else around us, and we don't want you to have a target on your back. So we're just gonna play it by ear for now. Start by seeing what the lady of our cart has to say.
Okay, very well. I'll follow your directions as possible. I take it none of you speak Sylvan then,
Never heard
from
of it.
our earlier interaction.
Mm.
Okay, when I am that deer form, that's the only language I'm able to speak, but I can still understand common. Um, Obviously, if you'll need me to communicate, this form likely works best as I can speak several languages.
I do have the comprehend languages spell. I let's see. I can understand the meaning of any spoken language that I hear. Any written language takes longer for me to read, but I figured if it was like animal things, I figured that was just outside of whatever I could understand.
Well, it is an old language, but it is one of the intelligent races.
Well, then I guess I should be able to comprehend anything in that form as well.
Okay. Well, I'll just give you that heads up that were I to speak again in that form, it will be in Sylvan.
Okay.
With that, he again reverts to a deer as sort of his magical reserves deplete, and walks between the two of y'all out of the forest. At which point, I assume Aveline will have had her conversation with the wagon leader from y'all's group, and probably
Yeah.
meets y'all back just before y'all get over the ridge to return to camp.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I could also, um, play off that he's one of my familiars, if that's possible. I have a golden stag as a familiar. I don't know if that would be possible.
That sounds like a good idea. Is that what you're, whenever you talk to her, is that what you're thinking you'll say then?
Yeah, I'll go up to her. I'll give her a rundown, saying, "Hey, we found this guy. He seems like he's under a curse. I think if we bring him to Waterdeep, he might be able to find a cure. Is it okay if he comes with us? If so, what about either what do you think is best, if he can just chill with the cart, or if I should play off that he's a familiar, blah blah blah.
Are you asking me that? Like, right?
Nope. No, I'm asking
You're like,
There he is.
say you're being pretty transparent with her.
yeah, I'm gonna be pretty transparent with her. She seems pretty all for saving people, well, animals,
True,
as far
she
as I
did
know.
say something to me about saving that horse.
I'll let her know we found a golden stag who might be an elf who appears to be under a curse, who's in a bit of pain. We'd like to help him in some way, shape, or form. Is it okay if we take him to Waterdeep with us? And assuming we're departing ways at Waterdeep, I can go handle helping him. Just safe passage.
All right. With that, are y'all ready to return to the caravan then?
What did she say?
The
Balls.
caravan leader?
Yeah,
Or are you
yeah,
asking me? Oh,
yeah.
yeah. She seems fine with it. It doesn't seem like this is the first time that she's uh, dealt with a cursed traveler on the road. She almost kind of scoffs and laughs it off, like, "Ah, another one, eh? Very well. Um, this does sound a bit more interesting than any of the ones I've seen before, but y'all would likely be able to find the help you're looking for in Waterdeep, if that is something you're interested. Certainly, y'all have built up enough goodwill with me that if that's something that y'all think is appropriate, so long as y'all continue to do your jobs dutifully, and you don't think this is going to distract you from it, then I don't care who you bring along. Would be mindful of the others though, especially those other three wagons up front. They're a bit crueler.
What do you say? I don't know if she had any insight on what the best.
I was gonna ask her if she thinks it best if we invite him, because right now he's in the appearance of a golden stag. If it would be best to invite him as like pretend he's one of my familiars, let's say, or invite him as a guest and hope and pray nobody else decides to mess with him.
Hmm. She thinks for a moment. Well, I wouldn't be too worried about that simpleton merchant selling wares. I don't know how uh, arcane inclined the other group is, that if they would know the difference between sort of an astral or various different elements of magic. Certainly, it wouldn't be worth their time to mess with someone's familiar, as you would simply vanish and reappear at the will of the user. But if they knew it wasn't a familiar, then that might only build suspicion.
Okay, then would it be all right if we invite him and pretend he's one of my familiars?
Be fine with me, and I'm willing to back up that statement.
Thank you. I'll give her a nice gesture nod. I'll go reconvene with him and accept him into the group. I'll put him on a strict warning to follow our rules and all that.
He's still in stag form, so
Yeah,
um,
and it would be
he
yes, no
says he
questions.
says says something none of you can understand at the moment, and just sort of nods his head.
Well, when I meet up with him, I'll just say to him, I was like, I'm gonna ask you yes, no questions. Just nod or shake your head if I look in your direction for an answer.
To that, he nods.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll just describe to him that he's gonna pretend to be my familiar. That's about it. So if I give him a command, I'm not expecting to give him commands, but if I do give him a command, to try his best to follow it through. I probably
Um,
won't but I
He hesitates for a moment and nearly shakes his head, but then nods,
Okay.
realizing that he's sort of in y'all's hands at this point. He's come this far.
It's more like if I tell him to hide, he has to go hide. Is what I'm expecting.
Okay. With that, do y'all make your way back to the caravan?
What does that do?
So,
Is that a yes?
yes.
Okay. Y'all have just returned from the forest with a giant golden stag, so you're certainly going to draw a lot of attention, including the wagon leader from Kilcash's wagon. He goes, my, look at this thing. I haven't seen anything so grand in my life, I don't think.
Yeah. One of my grand familiars I have available to me. It is my favorite.
Well, isn't that fantastic? Do you think I could potentially borrow him for one of our storytelling nights on the remainder of the trip?
Depending on what that entails. I very much favor this familiar form, and as you can tell by its golden glory, I'm just gonna rant on about him.
Okay. He just sort of nods, thoroughly enthralled by the idea of this like giant golden animal familiar. He just believes you because he doesn't know much about magic, and he
Like,
explains like, "Oh, I would just it would just be for storytelling purposes. I would make
I'll
up
be
some
like, yeah,
story about."
it's really rare magic. Like, it's 1 in 1,000 to come across this sort of spell form that I learned
His
trying
eyes are
my
just sparkling.
hardest.
He's like, "That's so cool." Um, can you make it turn into other forms?
I can, but it's really strenuous to change his form, and it takes a couple of hours.
That makes sense. For such a rare type of magic, you'd have to imagine there'd be some consequence to it, right?
Yeah,
Um,
and we were out in the forest, so I thought it took me a while, but I changed his form, all this and that. So I have a week until I can actually change his form because it's on a cooldown. I'm just pulling, I'm just bluffing a lot.
all right, well, he totally buys it. Um, at this point, also, the other merchant who would have been abusing his animals before has walked up and sort of heard a bit of what you're saying and goes, "Oh, well, can you, if let's say if you wanted to, could you take off its antlers or its pelt or anything like that, and then just summon another?"
No, the magic doesn't quite work like that, unfortunately. Sorry about that. If I could, I wouldn't be really working as a mercenary.
He nods his head. Well, I suppose that does make sense. Why make it all golden though? That can't be exactly stealthy.
Exactly all for stealth. Sometimes I like to relish in some of my achievements, and this just happens to be one of my achievements.
Shots in the bag.
Very well then, and the leader of Kilcash's caravan just kind of slaps him on the back. He's like, "No, no, leave her to it. Like we're all gawking over it. I get it, but I'm sure she's got to get back to her work." You do notice too. Well, I guess let's see how much he knows. Give me a perception check.
All of us?
No, Aveline specifically,
Okay.
since she's the one doing the talking.
15.
15. Um, Actually, yeah, I guess all of y'all can, because I assume y'all are all still standing around.
Where's my perception? 2. 19.
Wow. Okay.
I'm awesome.
I'll just say y'all are all fully aware of the fact that it's not just these two and the other guards' attention y'all have. Uh, but the other group of wagons as well have clearly taken notice of this. And the leader in particular seems to be staring you down, as if with daggers in his eyes.
He's staring at me. I'm going to do like a grin and do a little wink at him. And then turn around and go back to what I was doing. Go back to my cart.
He just continues his frown while you're staring at him, before eventually turning back to his group and getting them ready for to camp out for the night. Cool. All right. Is there anything y'all want to do to change sort of your rotations or anything like that to account for the fact that you now have Arun with you? I misspelled his name. I meant to do. Arun Windcaller.
So we're kind of playing him off as one of my familiars. Would it be alright if he sleeps and wakes up during my night shifts?
That'd be fine. Sure.
Yeah, that's all I had.
Okay. So is he just gonna sleep like next to y'all's tent that y'all have?
If he can sleep in the tent, that would be nice.
Unfortunately, I think he's gonna be a bit too big.
He can change his form, right?
Not for very long,
No, not for his sleep. Okay.
and only when he's conscious as well.
Okay. I'll let him sleep during mine and Sab's rotations, but if he can be no, because it's just me and Sab. He can sleep when he can. He's fine to be awake during mine and Sab's rotations, whenever that is.
Okay.
Just hiding near the tent, near the front of the tent, wherever we're guarding.
Sure. Alrighty then. I assume we'll just go ahead and go to the next day then. Anything else
Yeah.
anybody wants to do?
Yeah, I can't think of nothing.
No.
All right, then that was the last thing that was going to happen for a few days. So how about we jump a week ahead to day 30?
Woo.
What are a couple things y'all would like to do during that time?
I'd probably just be owling it up every once in a while, every other night. See if I notice anything, hear anything.
Nope. Nothing out of the ordinary besides the other group of 3 caravans just being as suspicious as they've been the whole trip.
Okay, that's it from me then.
Okie dokie. Anybody else?
Aside from just keeping an eye out with all those dagger eyes we saw, that and I don't know. I want to talk more with how do you say his name? Aaron. Aaron. Yeah, and talking to him in any downtime to kind of figure out more of what exactly he's trying to get, done. But I guess he has to stay in a stag form more, so where we can't really communicate as much.
He can understand you, so you could still speak to him, and then if you've got comprehend languages up, you would understand his Sylvan.
True.
Up to you though.
Let's say I don't know what time of day or anything that this would be taking place. If Aveline's around and is curious to hear anything or have any questions for him as well, since I could translate them. But see, so he's part elf. I would hate if I ask any questions that might have been answered for me earlier, and I kind of zoned out, but asking if he always has had the stag form and if he has any idea how exactly or what this curse entails, how he knows where to go for these answers. Kind of.
He says indeed he has always had the ability to wild shape sort of into a stag, which was his preferred form. He sort of describes it to you, and it sounds like what he did was somewhat similar to what you've seen Thessera do. So you can sort of take it that he was a druid at some time. As to how the curse might be broken, he doesn't really know. In terms of who did it to him, he has a few ideas, and he lists out a couple of names. Give me a, let's say, an Arcana or a History check, either one. Arcana. They don't really sound familiar to you at all. He just lists these sort of names that, especially in Sylvan, they just sound almost like gibberish to you, which is weird because you have comprehend languages on, so like you understand what he's saying, but at the same time you just don't get it.
So I might know, but I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, like you very well could have heard it before, but for whatever reason in this tongue, it like isn't making, you're not comprehending it essentially.
So if
after one of these days where you're asking him several questions, he does look at you and again speaking to you in Sylvan, he says, "You do have the smell of the Fae on you, child."
Oh. Yeah.
Says, have you traveled there before? Seems someone's laid some sort of claim on you.
I have long ago. In a darker time in my life.
Well, that is the nature of the Fae, isn't it? To answer your prayers and curse you all at the same time.
Sadly, that seems to be so.
And what is it you were looking for from them? Power, wealth, knowledge?
Power and a helping hand. It didn't go quite how I had envisioned, though.
Sorry to hear that, child. Seems the same with our family. Seems that cycle is doomed to repeat itself as long as the Fae are concerned.
How exactly do you see yourself cursed if you have like a shape-shifting form?
Oh, well, you see, normally I would have retained that form you've seen before, the more human form, but then it would drain my magical reserves to turn into a stag, not the other way around. Not to mention the whole not dying thing. I miss my family quite a bit.
Assuming, anything with the... Or, Aveline, are you here while we're having this conversation?
I will say Aveline's taking her turn up on the cart, resting, while the two of y'all are walking alongside the cart.
So I'm not listening.
I mean, you probably hear them speaking back and forth.
Okay, I thought I was sleeping.
You can't understand what's happening.
Okay, I hear mumbles and grumbles and voices, but that's about it.
Yeah, essentially you would hear anything Ray says, but then again, when Arun responds, it would just sound like wind on the leaves.
I'm hearing you. I'm not hearing him. Oliver, just call back to her.
Well, after we get to this location, do you have any lead to know exactly of what you're looking for or where to go beyond that?
He says, well, as I said before, I don't know exactly who did this to our family, but it certainly reeks of Fey magic. As to who can help with that, I have no clue. It's been a long time.
Well, maybe I have something up my sleeve that can help you. I'd definitely feel free and would love to help you as long as it doesn't stray us me and my party too far from our path.
He gives you a sort of deep bow of his head, and he says, I'll be forever grateful if y'all are able to lift this curse. It's been far too long since I've seen my family.
Do you know exactly how long you've been cursed?
Hard to say. How long does it take an empire to fall, a stone building to fall to ruin? Hundreds of years, thousands. I've been aware for at least a few decades, um, but it seems I may have gone through this little ritual before.
Hmm. Well, I guess maybe it might be best for you to sleep since Aveline wanted you guys sleeping at the same time. Thank you for enlightening me on this conversation.
Of course. Should you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer what I can. Um, he can't really sleep because y'all are walking, unless I think it would be kind of cute if y'all moved around some of the goods in the back of the wagon for him to kind of like snuggle in there.
Oh,
Would
but
y'all have
when,
done that over like once he got there?
yeah.
I'd assume we'd move some stuff. So if I put my familiar away, he has a spot to retreat to or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. In that case, y'all stop the wagon for a little bit to let him jump up, and he sort of plops over in the wagon because I don't think deer really lay down particularly gracefully, um, which shakes the wagon quite a bit. But since y'all have brought this to the attention of the owner of y'all's wagon, she's been willing to sort of help y'all out in this regard. Cool. Moving on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We are going to say now it is day 32, and y'all have now arrived to Daggerford, which is where we're going to call it for today. This is the last stop before y'all get to Waterdeep, and sort of marks the beginning of the end of this chapter for y'all.
I'm mad I didn't get to fight anyone.
Well, just wait for next time. Any questions y'all have before we sign off?
We do it next week.
I think y'all are scheduled for next week, right?
I think so, because
so.
Sony can't do the first, I think she said.
Yeah, if y'all are good for it, next week we'll shoot to go ahead and finish what's going to happen in Daggerford, or, however much y'all pursue there. And then we'll make the move to Baldur's Gate. Or excuse me, not Baldur's Gate, to Waterdeep, which would kind of be the conclusion of this chapter.
Do I still get that temp buff on my X, since I never use it?
Yes, yeah, if you can mark that down. I thought you were about to use it once against those cards, but...
What was it again? Plus what?
Your next 3 attacks have advantage. Before it dulls again and goes back to normal.
Fucking hit the caps on there. Okay. And then I'm just marking this in.
Yeah, you'll just have to write that down. I'll write it down as well. Just to try and help remember, but
you'll have to,
on you to use that.
You'll have to remind me down the road how to use inspiration. I never used it before.
Oh, inspiration. You can use anytime you roll a die and you don't like the result. You can just use inspiration and re-roll your die. It's only for d20 rolls though, so like you can't re-roll a damage die.
Gotcha. All right, sweet.